A reading from the Holy Gospel according to Luke.
Glory to you, O Lord.
The apostle said to the Lord, "Increase our faith." The Lord replied, "If you have faith, the size of a mustard seed, you will say to this mulberry tree, 'Be uprooted and planted in the sea,' and it would obey you. Who among you would say to your servant, who has just come in from plowing or tending sheep in the field, 'Come here immediately and take your place at table'? Would he not rather say to him, 'Prepare something for me to eat. Put on your apron and wait on me while I eat and drink. You may eat and drink when I am finished'? Is he grateful to that servant because he did what was commanded? So should it be with you. When you have done all you have been commanded, say, 'We are unprofitable servants. We have done what we were obliged to do.'" The Gospel of the Lord.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Father Mike Straley from Phoenix, Arizona, but also representing Nuestros Pequeños Hermanos, our little brothers and sisters, a foundation in Mexico and 9 countries, Central America. I think this is my 5th time being here with you. Almost feels like home coming here. It's always a pleasure to come. Okay, now. Killings in churches. This week, again. Violence in our streets. Hatred and division all over our country. What's going on? Why? Jesus says, if you only have the faith of a little tiny mustard seed, you can change the world. You can move mountains. So, what's wrong? Don't we have faith? Those of us here? Don't we have faith? Don't we believe in our faith? Don't we accept the responsibility as Catholics? Seriously, don't we take that seriously? Do we listen to Jesus? And I don't mean just listen like in one ear and out the other. I mean, to seriously consider the words of Jesus Christ. Especially when Jesus says that we are all brothers and sisters. All brothers and sisters. And we are to love one another and treat with dignity all human persons. All of them. Without exception. That's hard work. Let me share with you from one of our theologians, respected theologians of this era, Father Hans Urs von Balthasar. He said, it's the practice of our Christian living never to abandon the fount which is God, the fount of our faith, Jesus Christ, including, he says, in the midst of secular activities. Ooh, that one's hard. Hold your faith in the midst of secular activities. He continues saying, God always has in mind the individual to illuminate the unique dignity of each person. This is important for you and I. As I said, I'm here to talk about Nuestros Pequeños Hermanos. And this is one of the ways that we Catholics can help our world. In Nuestros Pequeños Hermanos, we raise up these children who were born forgotten, children from the streets, children from extreme poverty, no education. And we teach these children that they're important, that they have unique qualities that are important for their society. We teach them unconditional love. It's an amazing program. You know, I visit our homes often. If you go down and visit, and you can do that, if you go down and visit, you will almost never see, or you will never see, children fighting and arguing in hatred. Oh yeah, they have differences, but not hatred. There is no hatred allowed. You know, this is very, very important to who they are as children, to respect each other, as you and I are supposed to have been taught too, to respect each other, all others. One of the countries that we're in is Haiti. And you've probably heard Haiti is one of the most dangerous countries in the world. It basically has no government. Areas of the country are run by different gangs, very violent. And it's the closest country to the United States, except for Mexico and Canada, who we share a border with. But other than that, this is our closest neighbor. And we're not doing anything down there, except Nuestros Pequeños Hermanos. We have a foundation there. We have homes for children. We actually have the only pediatric hospital in Haiti. We have all kinds of programs to help those people try to grow out. Can you imagine, you parents, trying to raise your child in a neighborhood like Haiti? Or can you imagine being a street child and even trying to survive? There's no hope. There is no hope, except in Nuestros Pequeños Hermanos. We have today one of the pequeños from Haiti. He's a graduate, and he lives here in the United States now. But he's here, and you can talk to him about the situation down there and the incredible work MPH is doing in Haiti. His name's Alberto. He's in the back. He'll be in the back by the tables. And he would love to talk with you. But I want to talk to you about a very personal example that's very close to my heart. I want to talk to you about Jesus. Jesus is one of the children that I sponsor. Jesus he grew up on the streets of Juarez, Mexico. And I mean grew up. He doesn't remember living anywhere but on the streets. He doesn't remember he doesn't remember parents. He doesn't remember any sense of home. I said to Jesus, well, who took care of you? He goes, my brother. His brother is 3 years older than him. You know? I met him when he first came to MPH. He was uneducated. He was very intelligent, but he's uneducated. And he should have been going into junior high school. And yet, we brought him along. Now, you can imagine, for Jesus and I, Jesus was a handful. He was tough to deal with. He was undisciplined. He only believed in taking care of himself. He didn't believe in any kind of family. He and his brother didn't get along. So, just an incredible life that he had lived. My second time I visited him, I saw him walking by, and I said, "Hey, Jesus, come here, sit down." He came over and sat down, and I put my arm around him. And this little child took my hand off and took it off of him. See, he didn't want that. Nothing comes close to him. Nothing gets near him to hurt him. You know? Today, Jesus is a student in Monterrey, Mexico, at the university. He is now in our university house, which is in Mexico. That's where our students are, in Monterrey. And he is totally different. It's been a long walk, a long road, but I tell you what, I wouldn't change one day of it in any of the problems we had. Because today he is so different. I'll tell you in a minute a little of that difference. But first, I had early this year, I was in Monterrey. 7 of the guys that I sponsor are either students or they are graduates. And I took them out to lunch. And while we were at lunch, my phone rang, the text. And Belinda, who works for MPH, and she's out there with the tables, Belinda had sent me a text saying that Father Felipe had died. Father Felipe, or Father Phil, was a priest from Chicago who got permission and went down to Mexico to work with MPH and spent over 30 years working with the children at MPH Mexico. He was this incredible figure and person in their lives. The text said that Father Phil had died that day. And then the bottom of the text says, but don't tell anybody because it's not public yet. And I've got these 7 guys in front of me. About 20 minutes later, I got a message saying I could tell people. And so I told them that Father Phil had died. One of my guys, who's graduated from university and is now an architect in Mexico, one of my guys who came to MPH when he was 6 months old, he said to me, "Dad, he carried me as a baby." He was just so touched. Jesus, though, who was sitting down at the end of the table, he sat there quietly, and I was watching him a little bit, but I was talking to all the guys, and pretty soon he's gone. I thought he'd gone to the bathroom, but the guys down there said no. He got up and left. He couldn't stay. He's so upset, so hurting. That night, we had a prayer service at our house in Monterrey, and the word had gone out on internet and all that, and so former pequeños that live in Monterrey all came back to the house for this prayer service. And I did the prayer service and talked for a while, and then I said, like it happens at wake services, I said, okay, any of you kids that have stories, let's get to know Father Phil even better. Tell your stories. Come up and talk. Tell a funny story or a good story, and for a while there's silence, and then pretty soon one guy gets up and talks, and then a girl gets up and talks, and it began to go. And once it was going, I went over and sat next to Jesus. Jesus, who didn't want my arm around his shoulder when he was a little kid, Jesus leaned, as soon as I sat down, he leaned against my shoulder and he said, "Dad, I hurt deep inside." This is a kid that was not going to let anybody get close to him when he came to us. And you can see what his life at Nuestros Pequeños Hermanos was about. Yes, my brothers and sisters, we can change the world if we listen to Jesus, if we take the love and mercy that he pours down on us and give that out as we're called to do, then we can change this crazy world we live in. Don't just sit back and say, why? Don't sit back and criticize. Change the world. I invite you all to become. Of course, we're going to take a second collection to help pay for our schools, our clinics, all this work we do with these children. Also, if you'd like even to get more involved, you can sponsor a child, as I do. Sponsoring a child is $50 a month. And if you sponsor the child, you can write to them, and they will write back to you, always. They'll always return letters. You'll get a Christmas card with a recent photo of them every year, so you watch them grow up. And you get their grades every year from school. And as I said, you can also go down and visit. And there's nothing like going down and visiting. There's nothing like going down and having some little child run up to you, "Padrino, Padrino," which is Godfather, and hug your legs, because you are part of their life. You're changing their life. And they know that and appreciate it. That's God calling us too. He's giving us thanks for what we do for them. So I invite you to be part of the NPH family. Drop by the tables afterwards, talk to us, talk to Alberto from Haiti, and consider joining the NPH family. Thank you very much. God bless.